I have had so many technical difficulties in the last 5 minutes, and now I'm on my phone.
It was also perfectly fine for like 20 minutes before that.
20 full minutes of talking about nothing. But the second it's important.
That's not true. We were talking about the ancient adapter. Hi, everyone. I'm back.
Max is back. This is the first stream of the year. First stream of the year for Max. First stream of the year for Cheryl.
Hold up. I don't have Jen up here.
Michael was here.
I was going to say, I was about to be like, first stream of the year for me. Just kidding. I was here on Monday.
So today we wanted to kind of do a bit of a wrap up, like a year in review of 2020 and news stories that we think are going to sort of carry forward into 2021. Things that are still affecting us, things we maybe want to like remind you exist. So I'm just going to jump in and start with the question of, have they actually rolled out the 5-minute videos? We've seen it, right? Someone has it.
It exists. We have seen one or two high-profile humans say that they have it.
Okay.
But other than that, it is in no way rolled out in like a noticeable way.
I put your hand over.
So it's not dissimilar to the 3-minute video rollout, which was also this year, and it can get kind of easy to forget that also happened this year.
Too much.
Time's a construct. But this has been sort of a major adjustment on the platform, is this idea of allowing people to make much longer form content than just the original 1-minute limit would allow. And it lines up with this idea of TikTok competing with IGTV and TikTok competing with YouTube in all of these ways. So I think we can anticipate seeing the 5-minute videos roll out at some point. Will I abuse that feature? Probably. I know myself. I know no one wants a 5-minute video. I know that.
But Toka might benefit from them.
That's the other thing, is that when you really need to communicate something, there are certain things that are easier to do in 3 minutes or 5 minutes than 1 minute. But at the same time, do you just want to make a YouTube video?
I mean, part of me feels like the 5-minute video is more than likely going to be used to like package multi-part videos together.
Yeah.
Or like repackage them so that they're easier for people to watch the whole thing through.
You put that in the beginning of a playlist, and then you don't have to actually go through and find it unless you're looking for a particular part to comment on it.
Yeah. Which like
save people from the inevitable, where's part 2?
Yeah.
Like that,
well, if we get 5 minutes, there will be no excuse.
I will find the part 2 if I have to start every single video.
But that's the thing, is like I have a feeling like even older videos where maybe it's been put into 2 parts, I wouldn't be surprised if once 5-minute goes to like most people just start packaging them together, because it's an easy view grab. You already know people like the video. You already know people are going to watch it, and now they don't have to go searching through your profile to find stuff.
Yeah, that's a really solid.
And then you can pin it.
And I really do feel like there's going to be a fair amount of reposting once we see it. Like reflecting on that, it's going to be a lot of reposts.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see whether or not they let the 5-minute videos interact with like stitches and duets and things like that, because I know for 3-minute video they don't right now, right?
Still. You just make a 3-minute video, you throw it into the universe, you say, fuck you, goodbye, and you like there is no question and answer. There is nothing. There is just, I have dropped this. And sometimes it's just like, I made this video that's 1 minute and 1 second long, but you can't reply to it, can't stitch it. Bye.
Yeah. That's like a weird cap that they must have, like, not like. The only thing I can think of is that it's the 1 minute limit that lets everything else work. And somebody tried to remove that for the 3-minute videos, and it broke all of TikTok. And therefore it just has had to stay until they fix it. And it's not high on the list. Well, but that's me thinking that they actually function like a company that builds things.
My theory is that it's kind of built into what you just said. I think that because all of those features were built into the 15, 30, and 1 minute stuff already, you have to remember when they released the 3-minute video, it was originally desktop only. You could only upload videos via your desktop. I don't think
forgot about that. That was only a year ago.
they included all of the other features into it because they loaded it desktop first.
It's just functionally just uploading things, and I think there's also the like selecting 7 seconds from a very large timeline is a bad experience. They could have arbitrarily drawn a line. It is a weird arbitrary line to draw, but
there was also a time period in which you could not access the majority of TikTok's existing sound library when making a 3-minute video. It was only select sounds, and that's changed now. So like even if it doesn't line up with the time right, you can use the sound and it's fine. But there was a time period in which even like the sound environment was completely different.
Right.
Yeah.
So it does make sense that it was sort of its own little siloed thing, and they maybe haven't.
And like many
Was that
things,
a rights thing? Was that a rights thing? Probably.
Huh?
Was that a rights thing? Probably.
It was duty free
sound library.
Probably. Don't make me think about copyright right now.
So I know that they went through a whole issue with copyright sound stuff before they limited what you could upload as a sound. Because there was like that 8-month period of time where you went from being able to upload things that had more than a minute of sound as a sound, and then all of a sudden you couldn't upload more than 30 seconds.
Correct. There have been a lot of like behind the scenes back and forth with the labels and TikTok because they are having to contend with so many complicated copyright issues and use issues. And a lot of like the weirdness around it stems from the fact that new use in this way is still new. That's why it's still called new use. Like the new media nonsense is new for a reason. They don't have great rules around it. It's just a lot of like, and there's no like indefinite usage. There's really only sort of like use packages that run a certain length of time, and you have to fall within, and then you have to re-up your,
which is why sounds will just vanish from your videos.
What exactly?
Yeah, we saw a couple of high-profile situations, like when all the Hamilton sounds disappeared.
Yeah,
like Hamilton Apocalypse.
One of these tabs has like a note about that somewhere in there, and this is a good time to talk about it.
That was what I was gonna seg into. That was
TikTok's ongoing copyright issues. Truly loved when every single Hamilton sound disappeared off that app. I like. Lin-Manuel Miranda absolutely came in and said, "Hi, I own the intellectual property of a lot of things illegally here." And TikTok immediately said, "What illegal things?" And just really quickly covered them all up, got rid of them, and uploaded the legal version of the sounds only.
It's the definition. Throw a blanket over it.
And doing so, like, just needed tons of memes, like half the cosplay community, like just like
was
so
gone.
much content.
It was a lot. There was that.
And then they do this, and this speaks to like one of the biggest pet peeves I think we all have is they do this and they tell no one.
No.
And so everyone's like, gee, it's weird. My profile's kind of like chonking. It's not getting any views, and then you just happen to scroll back through your feed. You're like, that's weird. I have like 400 copyright violations all of a sudden. They're all Hamilton songs, which were entirely legal yesterday. And they didn't think to like give you a notification.
Struck me.
Well, what I found interesting was like, because when it hit Mercury Stardust,
that was the Steven Universe sound. By the way,
he had used that sound on so many things.
There were entire accounts that were just that audio.
But here's the thing: 2 weeks after it hit Mercury Stardust, and the whole TikTok was like, "How dare you!" All of a sudden, they tried to introduce a feature that they didn't broadcast, where you could swap out the sound. The feature never worked.
I never got that option.
I tried it so often.
I know.
Because they were clearly trying to figure out a workaround because they knew they fucked up. But they didn't have the knowledge or know-how of how to actually swap the sound out.
As far as I know, that feature has now been rolled back.
Yeah.
That would make sense because that sounds very complicated.
There was like there was never like even a really notification.
There wasn't. I found it by
ignoring it.
Yeah. It was very strange.
I feel like we should draw attention to this comment just because it's there and everyone else. No, I disagree.
Live.
It made me
I love the way you sing. Kids Bop only. Let's go. Clean up the app. Make it kid friendly.
The Kids Bop version of WAP.
However,
I mean that's funny.
To do a protest day, like if you wanted to make a point, like you wanted to, like if everyone in that movement decided to only use Kids Bop music for a day or like a week, it would make a point. And you couldn't like you would just say we'll do whatever songs and memes we want. They're just going to be Kids Bop. People would have to take note, and you can't.
Wait, that would be that would be like
a challenge to a Kids Bop song.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was just thinking purely like a Tumblr level April Fool's Day joke. Just TikTok swaps out everyone's videos for the equivalent Kids Bop.
I would have a mental breakdown.
I would do that. Having a mental. Elmo is already trending.
Elmo had a post on Twitter about a feud for this.
No, wait. This news.
That's not news. Elmo was tweeting about it.
Talking about the Steven Universe sound. The whole thing with it that was absolutely wild at the end of the day was the sound was reinstated, which I've never ever seen happen before. And it is because it affected so many people. And in particular, Mercury Stardust, who is so loved on the app. Like universally, everyone's like, yes, Trans Handyman, favorite person, so kind, teaches me how to fix my drains. The workarounds that people did to sort of strip the music off of her videos for her, and the like reaching out on her behalf to other people meant that I think at the end of the day, the situation got back to the relevant authorities. The rights for that music are, I believe, owned by Warner. Warner is pretty notorious for copy striking things that don't need to be copy struck because they are original pieces, because they are just somebody playing like an interpolation, which is allowed. They are somebody putting a cover out there and it's not monetized, so it shouldn't be an issue.
They do that across the board.
They do. Warner is particularly bad about it.
They will copy strike fair use.
Yeah, Warner
that are like.
I have my own feelings about Warner because I had to work with them, and honestly, it's not fun. But I think what happened was some copyright detection software picked up the sound that was featured in there, and said, "Someone else owns this. We own it. It's ours now. Take it off the platform." Only for somebody to finally, within that system, turn around and say, actually, all they need is an ASCAP sync license. If that. I think the answer actually ended up being they don't even need that because that person was not making money off of that track.
Correct.
Putting it on TikTok does not mean you get paid for the videos that people use your sound on.
Right.
Unfortunately.
And how long did it
have more money if that were true?
How long did it take for them to realize that they were like fighting over something that wasn't actually making the person that created the sound money? Was it? You think it was that 2 weeks?
It was about 2 weeks.
It was a 3-week turnaround on Mercury getting the sound back.
Yeah, it was like 2-3 weeks. Yeah. Anyway, so that's and this is a thing that maybe in the new year we need to start tracking as a whole is when we notice sounds get removed. Just so we can put that out there for people if it is a relatively common sound, if it's a sound a trend was centered around, because that has happened in the last year as well. Just so people know to go check their profile.
Right.
Last year in 2020 to 2021, I don't know if it's going to happen again this year. Like All I Want for Christmas Is You. They had memes that were advertised and then the song got pulled like
No.
3 weeks later.
No.
Yeah, that I wonder that a lot. Like how many like sounds are like becoming popular because they're popular on TikTok. So it's like it's happened more than once that a song has ended up like in like the pop top, but it was like
Meghan Trainor's song she never got to release a music video for, and now they're letting her do it because it's suddenly popular on TikTok.
I mean, that is a whole. That's the music industry is now run by TikTok, and we all know this.
Yes.
They know this.
which is kind of insane.
They should embrace
It's
it.
insane. But this is, the way to tie it back to all of this. When someone is an indie artist and they get signed because they get noticed on TikTok, and I'm gonna use Lil Nas X as like the example, the music that they previously uploaded gets pulled and then
replaced.
uploaded through the label.
Yeah.
And so
Wait, was Little Nas X
what?
a TikTok person before?
I mean, to be fair, he also like was a Twitter absolute troll on Twitter before as well. But yeah,
I didn't know that.
The part of the reason Old Town Road got so popular was the internet. And it had huge popularity on TikTok before it was popular other places, and that's how he got signed.
Yeah.
So, but once he gets signed, all of the stuff gets pulled and then re-uploaded, and fuck every other video that got made with this sound.
Because it's no longer in sync.
Correct.
And there has to be a better, and the same thing happened with the Hamilton sounds. There has to be a better way for them to go about this. There really, really does, because if there's like an unofficial version of the sound that has hundreds of thousands of videos under it, maybe we just say this belongs to the copyright holder now.
I think
TikTok now owes these fees.
They know they're related.
Even
also
the
they
first
do
one.
that thing. They do that thing in it. This contains audio from.
That's also a newer development.
yeah.
I've had that for a really long time.
Yeah, but a really long time is in the past year.
Yes.
Yes.
I just don't understand why you wouldn't leave the videos up, leave the sound, attach them, but then when you click on the little circle that you go to the sound, redirect it to the official sound.
Exactly.
That
is the easiest.
That is much simpler than whatever they've been trying to do, because pulling out the audio and video of a video that you've packaged and compressed together into one thing, put on your site, is completely much more complicated to then even just do that, put it back together with a new sound and automate that, because TikTok only exists in automation. We know that.
But like that was the thing that really got me, is I'm like, all right, cool, you're re-uploading the sound anyway, you're just re-uploading it under the label. Why would you not just redirect it so that you're now getting all of that traffic, and instead you're cutting off the traffic stream entirely?
Genuinely.
Stupid.
Charge them
It's
for the
probably
prior
because
traffic.
legal says no, you must stop, fix, make it not do this anymore. We don't want to get sued. And so logic leaves the
just
brain.
Set up a track where, like, now we have this thing that we do instead, so we have an answer to your problem. Here's what we're gonna do.
No, that would be functioning like a
just making sure it's on the right page.
Like
my little tiny contributions today. I hope everyone's appreciating them.
We do. We appreciate them so much, Jen.
I'm currently going through my TikTok looking for any copy strikes.
I'm gonna do it.
And that's I love that we have to do that. That it's still let's
it can notify me that
history to do that, because
at least it puts a little missing sound thing on the
I don't
thumbnail
even
now.
think I have that.
It will notify me every time that someone comments, or that Cecilia comments on her own video, because I happen to also comment on it, but they won't tell me when I have a sound that's been taken down.
So that you can comply with the guidelines. Like,
They will notify me every time they find a violation that I submitted that was actively a violation of community guidelines, doesn't violate community guidelines. The last one I got was TikTok user.
Echo, stop. No, hey Google, stop.
Which robot is
Just
yours?
turned on. Did you sit on the remote or just at the TV?
Oh God! All right, moving on to the next topic. But just moral of the story:
Oh.
make sure you keep checking constantly for copy strikes. Do it once a month. Just make sure, because TikTok doesn't let you know still. And hopefully this time next year we can say TikTok does let you know. That would be a wonderful development. We are asking for the bare minimum.
We are begging.
Let me know when I get
Okay.
Guidelines.
In defense of the sheer number of robots in this apartment, and then I'll let us get back on track. Jen and I both are autistic and have ADHD, so without the robots, nothing gets done.
My robot turns all the lights on in the morning. She reminds me I have to put the kettle on. She tells me when I need to brush my teeth and make my lunch.
The
She
robots
reminds me all the things.
they are
And then she
important, but
turns the light off.
sometimes they are listening at the wrong time.
I don't
Yes,
care.
like when you're shitting on TikTok and not talking to
Well, they
it.
can't hear that.
So
The real tricky thing is when you have a bunch of those robots and then you try to give a talk about designing those robots and you talk about them a lot and you forget to tell them to stop listening. It gets very tricksy.
We'll talk more later.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk more later.
So, TikTok this year decided to, instead of releasing community guidelines enforcement reports every 6 months, is now releasing them quarterly. So we're getting sort of more timely, not super timely, but more timely updates about what precisely is going on in the platform. Are they good?
No.
No.
Do they have a very
concern is
positive
that-
spin on them?
There's a lot of spin happening.
There's a lot of spin.
like,
There's a lot of intentional
sound
vagueness.
like okay.
Yeah.
Look at how well our auto moderation systems are working.
We're blurry.
I know.
Please, I'm so tired.
I'm sorry.
This decision did line up with TikTok's decision in July to roll out sort of a newer, updated, shiny auto mod system that has been remarkably awful. So there have been a lot of changes in how TikTok moderates. Not a single one of them has been good or what anyone has been asking for, which has been remarkably disappointing.
Yeah, I think, you know what? That's when a lot of my issues started over the summer.
July.
With that new auto mod system. I have not been able to post a video since because that was around the time that I got flagged for trying to upload a cosplay that had a fake dagger in it. And it was like, no, that's a real knife. That's dangerous. No Peter
If it was
Pan.
that one dagger, it is kind of a real dagger.
Yeah, but
But here's the thing:
but
the
it's
moderation.
a real
Even
dagger.
if we want to talk about knives, right? The moderation around weapons and what it considers a weapon and when it considers it a weapon is wildly inconsistent, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You have some creators who most of their food content is food content, who are perfectly able to chop things in their kitchen and use real knives and wave them about with flourish. And then you have a cosplayer with a foam sword who is not allowed to show that on camera.
Like,
Yeah.
John Kung, Chef John, is able to hold up his side of salmon and they slap it with the knife.
Yep.
And
I can't wildly gesture it while dressed in Peter Pan, but in the colors of the Pan flag.
Nope.
And I was like, this doesn't violate community.
It also tags you as a child.
I know
feel
that
like you're a baby.
I had a whole incident where I posted 3 videos in my angel costume. Sir, not now. My son is fussing.
Maxie.
I had 3 videos in my angel costume. 2 were taken down for dangerous weapons. 1 was not. The dangerous weapon was in all 3.
Was it?
Was it
your ass?
No, it was a blunted axe. Big old boy. I've had the same issue with it because I've jokingly pulled it out before. It's a toss up.
Yeah.
Whether it's
Yeah, but ever since I tried posting that video 3 times in 15 minutes and they all got struck, and told that they couldn't go back up. I think you're correct, and I have to do what Cheryl had to do and just like ditch my account name.
Or some
because
weird things happen. And there was another wave of things that I think hit a lot of people, like you're describing, that like 3 hits because you don't exactly know what's happening. When they decided in July, randomly, without telling anyone, that like suddenly links in comments were just verboten, they weren't allowed, and no one was told. And so like I almost got hit by this too, because I posted a comment and then it didn't show up, so I posted it again, and then like a couple seconds later I finally saw the post saying like, hey, this is a violation. And that was like the first violation I'd ever gotten. Like, oh crap. So I pulled the other comment down before it could get taken down. But some people never saw that, and they just kept reposting, and they ended up in the same state that you're describing, where like you triggered the threshold, whatever that was. And there was nothing in the guidelines that said posting links.
Was new. It was arbitrary, and they told no one. My personal favorite was Professor Casey did get hit. And she was trying to cite her sources, and what she'll do is like she'll post a comment that says sources and then the links.
That's what I was trying to do.
And was just trying to do it and posted all the comments, and it was just so many comments and so many links that TikTok was like post ban now.
Yeah, I think that's what's
hours.
going on. That's going on with me to some extent, in that I only awkward non-binary outfits of the day will make it to the For You page.
They're never awkward. They're usually pretty cute.
I feel awkward, therefore I'm posting.
You are awkward.
An outfit of the
Your
day.
Outfits are not.
But this is just a general trend that's been going on. There's been an increase in the unspoken rules of TikTok.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
unwritten.
It's remarkably frustrating that they could just openly say, hey, you can't post links anymore. Because that would be
announced policy.
Even though you can't.
It would also, like, it would be the easiest thing for them to, anytime that they had like something they know is going to affect a decent chunk of users, whether it be, hey, you can't post this anymore, or what have you. They have the ability to insert a video on your For You page when you open the app. Why not just have the first thing have a news blast be the first thing that shows up when you open the app? These are the changes we've made this week.
But Micah,
I really never thought that I would miss the concept of the staff blog that Tumblr had.
Right? Kind of miss it.
Yeah.
Blog.
But it's like
most of the time I would immediately overwrite whatever it did with XKit, which still works. The new XKit still works, because I needed to talk about Wheel of Time to the point that I opened Tumblr.
Anna downloaded Tumblr to talk about Dickinson recently. Sorry.
But like, it's one of those things where there are some very simple solutions that realistically they're already using these ideas to do other dumb things that no one cares about.
They could just tweet it out.
Wait,
then they'd have to use Twitter.
Could repurpose that stop scrolling that everybody banned.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you have the ability to do that, it would be so easy to just, when you open the app, the first video you see is a very quick, like, these are the new rules.
Or the life at TikTok ones they insert at you.
How would they sell that topside ad space? If they're using it, how can they make money off of?
2 videos you have to scroll through instead of 1.
This is the choice. They've made the choice to say, like, we don't need to run community announcements like that to let it.
What you do is you talk to Diet Coke and you say, okay, the person talking is going to be holding Diet Coke while we Josie and the Pussycat.
We will wear a shirt with your movie's logo on it, and then play the trailer before the video ends.
Like, can you imagine if we got TikTok announcements like sponsored by Spider-Man No Way Home? Like,
I was just thinking
I would do that.
Lin-Manuel Miranda writing a song.
Honestly, I'd be more like willing to watch that just because the trash fire that would create.
I want to see someone from the MCU tell me about why I can't post links
They
on
all they all have
And
to
it's
be.
just it's
they
Chris
all
Evans
have to be cast
holds the chair up
in
with like,
the gym
"Yo,
classroom.
you want to post links?"
That's
It's
all I
just
want.
Cap,
It's
but
stupid.
they
all I
alternate.
want.
They alternate with which Cap it is.
Oh God,
So you don't know when you open the app which Cap you're gonna get.
which Cap will I get today? Tell me about what I can't do on this stupid app. So anyway, the transparency reporting and that kind of stuff, that it has technically increased. Is it giving us any further insight? Not
No.
really. A lot of it is written in a way that's purposely vague. A lot of it leaves you with more questions. It asks questions by accident by just presenting you with numbers, and you're like, what is the context of that? And they
Here
don't
are
give
some
it.
numbers. Are they global numbers? Are they American numbers? We don't know.
Who's
How
to
many
say?
have been stated?
Are
What's
they
the
Why don't they
percentage?
have the drag queen explain all the numbers to us? They got her
Analytical?
to understand them, and then
Oh, I
the
love.
math drag queen.
Oh no, she's the coding drag queen.
No,
I
the
love
math drag queen.
I do.
I
love
don't know that one.
The math drag queen. I've sent you her videos before.
It's wonderful.
Max doesn't watch the videos I send them. Just
No,
like I
because
don't
they
listen when
crashed
Max
the app.
talks. So I thought
Bless.
so.
TikTok
Can I
crashed
have
like 4
playlists
times.
now?
What's that?
Can I have playlists now? I feel
No.
like I
I
can't.
feel like I have
You
access
have
to
been sent
playlists.
to the naughty corner. No playlists.
I am
I
still
just helped
angry
a friend put
about
a
my
bunch
lack of
videos in a
playlists.
playlist.
I have stopped making any of the content that would go in a playlist because I don't have
Wait,
motivation.
Here's a
Me
good
too.
segue into an issue that has come up on the past year that will probably continue affecting us as TikTok's massively uneven rollout of new features. And this did really start this year with the captions rollout.
Mm.
And that was sort of
Avoid as
like one
many
of the first
disabled people
changes
as
at the
possible.
That
for as
was
long
this
as possible.
year.
Yeah, right? Hasn't it actually been 500 years? I'm so done with the concept of time. I can't stand it. Yeah, it was one of the first things we got this year. And there were a number of people, including me, saying, like, the timeline of this should be criticized because the rollout started sort of like at the end of the year prior, and then a couple more people got it, and then a larger group got it, and there were people without captions. Are there people without captions to this day?
Probably.
So it's hard to tell because the captions don't work 90% of the time.
Oh.
They don't load 90% of the time. The biggest thing I had is you have a community of users on TikTok who have been loudly demanding this feature because we need it, who identify themselves frequently. I did not get access to captions until June.
Yep.
My birthday. I'm friggin' deaf.
Terrible captions.
And the way they rolled it out, related to the previous discussion, they didn't explain to people when captions came to people that they were only partially available. So a creator gets captions, they're like, great, problem solved. I don't need to kill my wrists typing captions in anymore. So they immediately say, like, great, do the scanning. And so they're like, I'm not going to put text on my videos anymore. And then everybody else who needs the text gets a bunch of videos with nothing again.
Yeah.
For like 6 months. And so now it's haves and have nots. And you're like, wait, this creator used to caption all their videos. Why have they suddenly decided they hate me? And it's because they think everyone's got captions.
Mm-hmm.
They were told they had captions.
That was my personal favorite phase, would be people in saying, hey, can you caption your videos? And the poor creator saying, I captioned it through TikTok. Can you not see them? And then everyone responding to that poor creator of like, yeah,
No.
you don't have it yet. You can't see it yet. And
It doesn't make sense.
it was like 3 solid months of that conversation and everything.
No, that is quite literally TikTok having like people in groups that are literally looking at different versions of the app. Like that's the only thing I can think of. And then you go and look at my business account my actual like first TikTok account, I still have a video from
November of 2020.
November 2020 that still gets views and likes regularly.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's considered evergreen content. We don't have enough to show on the For You page today, throw it back up there.
Yep.
It's super safe because it's a video. It's a video of me putting in a decal on a shirt, or the video of me designing a friendship bracelet.
To
Super
move it back to
safe.
the captions, though, I and correct me if I'm wrong, the timeline of them starting to roll out captions and starting to like tell people that they were rolling out captions, didn't that coincide with Reels suddenly being like, oh, by the way, here's some captions?
Okay, so
Because I feel like they started rushing it once they realized people were recording in Reels and reposting.
So when Reels made its captioning feature, I was pretty much exclusively using Reels because for some reason Reels picked up whatever dialect I speak in really, really well. It did not like constantly tell me I was saying words I wasn't saying. It just got it. Don't know why. It was that
And
one.
the bleeps were fun.
It was weird. But the second I got it, I made a video and I posted it on my side account and I said, mark my fucking words. TikTok will rush through getting captions out and we will have it before the end of next year.
Yep.
And there it was. I got that in March, I think.
Yeah, but that's why I genuinely wonder if the reason that rollout was so goddamn messy was because they suddenly were getting increased pressure from a different app that they were in direct competition with for that particular thing.
Which is like, the competition works. By the way, this is part of why no one gets to be a single social media person anymore. No one is exclusively a blogger. No one is exclusively a YouTuber. That just doesn't happen. You have to be everywhere. But part of the reason you have to be everywhere is that at any given moment, you need to be ready to give one of the apps you're on competition.
Yes.
Because TikTok has no reason to want to get better. It knows that it's kind of it for the short form video content. So if we want to push them, the best thing to do is say like, oh, there's a feature over on this app that I can use that works better on TikTok. I'm going to use it, repost the video on TikTok talking about how the feature is better.
Yeah.
Because I genuinely think it worked.
Or with watermarks for this other feature.
We're just going to end up, like, if we all went to sleep now and we woke up in like a year and a half, we're going to have YouTube, which has diluted itself into like a crappy short form video feed, and we'll have TikTok, which will have diluted itself into a crappy long form video feed, and Instagram, which will just have diluted itself into like an ad
and sentence.
We will have like suddenly it will be like the new ContraPoints TikTok just dropped. It's 2 hours long.
Right? Like, the only safe website will be Tumblr.
Can we go back to this concept of being able to sleep for a year and a half? Because I miss
Yeah.
I didn't even hear that
opt
at all.
into that option because all I have been this year is fucking tired. Like
in the last 6 days.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I just wanted to make
hard.
sure. I wanted to make sure it was just,
I was just
the last
talking to
6
someone
days.
today, and I was like, I'm pretty sure the days in 2022 are longer.
It was me.
No, I had texted it to someone else. I had texted it to someone else already, and then I repeated it out loud.
To interrupt, but to go back to the idea of like, hey, you know how Instagram is just going to turn into shopping?
But they will also remove anybody that uses Etsy or some other kind of platform.
So we're not talking about Instagram because I don't want to. But
I no longer have a shop linked to Etsy.
TikTok did roll out Shopify on TikTok.
Yeah, that was some weird partnership. I looked into it. It got wonky. I couldn't figure. I didn't actually.
It is a little wonky. It's wonky. So the only good part that I can see about this, because I don't want to be advertised to every second of every day, but that that's a lofty goal. the good part of it is that you didn't have to be like a business of any specific size with any specific following. You could just start linking people to your Shopify if you had a Shopify. So that was good for people who use TikTok for their small business, because there has been so much suppression for them because they post links, because they're directing people off the app. It can be very, very hard to get traction. And for a lot of people, like, they made a video, it went viral, people accessed their business through TikTok, and suddenly they can't reach their own followers anymore, and they can't get people to actually buy their stuff. And there were a lot of hurdles.
Yeah, I think that
problem
led
then it's been
significantly to my burnout.
What?
So I think that led significantly to my burnout.
Oh yeah, it absolutely led to. I know a lot of people who were like ran side accounts with their merch business or their sticker business. I know a couple people who did embroidery, and they sort of ran their personal account as their personal account, but then they had a business account and they just got really burned out because they couldn't ever get anything out there.
Yeah, and the videos that go viral never lead to sales. It's like
No.
it was all things unrelated, but like a cool craft project I was interested in that would take off. I've also had a bunch of like videos that then had the sound removed.
Yeah.
Like a viral Hamilton sound.
Yeah. It screws everybody over. So yeah, the good half of this is like it was available to everyone. The bad half is it's pretty buggy on like the user side. They're gonna work it out because they have to, because TikTok desperately wants to make money, and TikTok is not profitable, as in its like current state. No. I don't know when companies are eventually just going to accept that like their major social media platform is not going to be profitable and also still functional. But that's that's a whole different conversation.
It's like no one is ever willing to accept that people will pay money for services that are reliable. We never start there. We never start with the sustainability. We just start with toothpicks, and we never build a house.
Yeah, what if we just stick all of these toothpicks together and eventually something will be solid, right?
Right. Yes, if you put enough toothpicks together, structural integrity happens. Just
I'll eat more popsicles.
Mathematically.
Jen will fix the world with all of the popsicles.
See, that's all we need. Just all the
more popsicle sticks.
They're flat.
Safe food, save lives.
They're a little bit bigger than
toothpicks. See,
the toothpicks.
It's much better.
Sound
they
strategy.
also have funny jokes on them. Like
there's that kind of popsicle. See, that's fancy.
What do lawyers wear to court? Lawsuits. What gets whiter as it gets dirtier? A blackboard. Why are calendars so popular? They have lots of dates.
Ta-da!
None of those were good.
They're the best jokes I've ever told.
Hate it.
I literally just we are live.
Good. I want everyone to know.
Just so everybody knows, time check. We are just before 9, but we started.
We are almost at like.
We started a bit late.
We're almost at the last of the stories. But so anyway, we can expect to see more and smoother shopping integrations sort of like rolled out on TikTok in the coming months. By the end of the year, I think we can expect to be regularly seeing the kinds of ads that have that sort of like shop now button at the end of it, or tags within the video itself that you can click on and go to, like, you know, someone's merch shop if they're wearing their own sweatshirt, and it would take you.
It'll feel more like Instagram.
It's definitely, well, because every app, why would app be what it be when it could be what other app are?
They're all every
app.
You start out, become popular, do your own thing, then realize other app can just do that thing too, and then you must become other app to compete.
That's how it works.
Individuality.
Nope.
I know.
But yeah, I think we can sort of expect to see a bit of like the Instagramification of TikTok in the coming months. I don't know that it will be as extreme as Instagram. I don't think anything will ever be as extreme as Instagram, but it will. There's going to be a piece of that going.
Instagram just kind of
changing their business model.
I know.
They're laughing probably internally, being like, TikTok wants to copy us. This is a garbage fire. Have fun. We're leaving.
We're on a
The thing about Instagram, Instagram just copies every single platform until they don't exist anymore.
Instagram. We will have like some conversation about Instagram at some point.
It's about the metaverse,
but it's just a nightmare. So the final
but even
thing
before Instagram
that we have is TikTok. The sheer number of lawsuits that TikTok got into this year.
So many.
We had and two of them in particular were about the collection of biometric data from minors. There was one in the EU. And there was one in the US that was a combination. I know more about the US one because that's the one that like is affecting my experience on the app. It was a combination of 21 different lawsuits. The strongest one was from Illinois because Illinois actually has some decent privacy laws around the collection of biometric data. Both of those lawsuits have settled and you can now go get money. Will it be much money? No, it will be pennies.
I'm excited for my 2 whole pennies.
I want to frame my
I tried.
Pennies.
You had to try again, dude. I tried again and it worked.
Okay, I tried a couple of times and it just crashed.
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, you could have tried the day it rolled out.
Oh, probably. I don't know. I saw a link. I clicked on it.
And then you didn't try again.
No, then I can't find it anymore.
But the whole thing with their lawsuits, TikTok has been, and there was another sort of an older lawsuit between TikTok and what's that other short form video app? They got into a lawsuit with, it was like a copyright lawsuit, where they said TikTok had been benefiting from stuff it was like proprietary software. It was not true. They didn't win it. And TikTok is now countersuing because it damaged TikTok's reputation to be sued in that way. TikTok
didn't it turn out that the part that they were like claiming TikTok used was actually like open source code?
Yes. It was a pretty frivolous copyright lawsuit. For once, TikTok was right. Actually, no, for twice, because the other countersuit that TikTok filed was at the U.S. government last year. And the results sort of came through this year with the Biden administration just saying, like, we want no part of this. We're dropping it all. That was the whole, like, TikTok ban Trump lawsuits that came through. TikTok is now sort of taking a much more active role in defending its reputation in court. And that's unusual. We haven't seen them do that before. It's not like unusual for a social media platform to do that, but they had not been taking part in the like countersuing when they feel like they need to. Most of the time they were just settling as quickly as they could and being done with it. So this is a bit of a new development. I think we can probably expect to see TikTok filing countersuits if things don't go well, which could potentially deter other people from filing class action lawsuits.
That also makes me wonder if it's in part because they are concerned about their positioning should they ever need to bring in partners again and or stop.
Exactly. Now that being said, this is like a rough story to close on. Sorry, Happy New Year. A story broke over Christmas. And I don't know if Watson touched on this at all Monday.
Probably not.
TikTok is being sued by a former content moderator for failing to protect her mental health. It is now opened up into a class action lawsuit, so any other former moderators can join in. When we talk about wanting better moderation on TikTok, we always have to keep in mind that there's labor behind that.
Yes.
And if you are asking for better moderation and you are not asking for better conditions for those moderators, it's a bit hypocritical.
Yeah.
And that's why it is explicitly in our demands that we also know exactly how those moderators are doing, what kind of mental health care they're getting, what kind of benefits they are getting, and making sure they are adequately taken care of. Yeah. The lawsuit claims that TikTok has failed to meet industry standards for content moderation.
Duh.
That does not surprise me.
Not at all.
Considering
Okay.
everything else we know, of course they wouldn't be good at this.
No. They think the robots can be in charge. It's fine. They'll
really
handle it
do.
on Monday.
I get this sense that they were just sort of biding their time with these human moderators until they could like supplement it more with auto moderation.
But
And
then
we can get the computers to do it. We won't have to hire people for this.
Well,
except
and
it's a very nuanced thing.
On one end, it's failing users, and on the other end, it's failing their employees, because now they're putting undue pressure on these like scant human moderators who are not getting adequate mental health care. Yes. And so it's good. And the lawyer, it's the law firm itself, but the lawyer in charge of this case previously filed a lawsuit in 2018 for moderators reviewing content on Facebook, and Facebook paid out a $52 million settlement.
Oh, wow.
So she's working with the right people, the person who brought this. This is going to play out over the next couple of months.
Yeah.
You know, TikTok put out a like absolutely nothing terrible statement at the end of all of this stuff of like, while they open with, while we do not comment on ongoing litigation, fuck off.
We will comment on this
promote a caring working environment for our employees and contractors. Cool. Our safety team partners with third-party firms on the critical work of helping to protect the TikTok platform and community, and we continue to expand our range of wellness services so that moderators feel supported mentally and emotionally. Now, what I hear when I read that is we provide services so that we don't have to like pay them well enough or give them decent health insurance to make sure that it's actually okay.
Like maybe when we're working in the office, they might have access to a massage every once in a while, but only when they're working in the office, which they probably haven't been doing for the last 2.5 years.
And it also very much focuses on like incremental improvements as opposed to the net actual working conditions at any one time.
Correct.
Also, it sounds a lot like we are outsourcing this labor. They're not working directly for us.
Yeah. Third parties. Love that third parties in there.
Absolutely love seeing the note of they are partnered with third-party firms, meaning that TikTok itself is not heading up any of the like emotional and mental wellness.
Yeah.
So that's very revealing. I'm going to keep a close eye on this because I love it when TikTok's pockets hurt, and it gives me joy. But also,
is there a way that our research can help them?
I don't know. Let's find out.
We should find out.
Why not? Let's go. Yeah, this is really interesting, and it does have implications for how the platform is run. There is the potential for this to go the way of like, oh, we can't afford to do this, so we have to make more of it automated, or we need to radically readjust how we are running this entire portion of our company. And I feel like we know what choice TikTok would automatically try to make. Yep. So there is the potential for the public to need to push for them to make the better choice.
Yeah. What did you just do?
Yeah.
Hit myself in the knee with my.
We might need to yell as we do.
Oh, sorry. All right.
And we'll definitely need to pay attention to look for the uptick in automated moderation, because they sure won't tell us when they do it.
But one thing we wanted to make sure that we said today is to make sure that everybody watching knows that what we've found of our research is that this is the month of bot purging, and your follower counts may or may not change drastically. You are not being mass unfollowed. TikTok is purging its bots.
And I'm also asking, and I'm going to ask this at the end of every live stream I'm on. I'm going to tell Watson to ask on every live stream they're on. We are expecting some possible funny behavior from the app in the last week of the month. So just keep an eye out. It's not going, we can't confirm that it's going to happen, but there has been a pattern in the first month of every quarter. And if it happens again, we'll be able to make some conclusions. And if it doesn't, then okay. But just keep an eye on what's going on the app. If things look weird, if you're losing features, if like suddenly the entire experience of the app changes and then changes back and things just seem wrong. And I'm going to ask everyone to reflect on like the last week of October and the last week of July. Those are the other time periods that we're sort of looking at. Like, what was this weird adjustment and why was it happening? So just
be aware.
February is a rough month. It's a bad time. So just
it's a good time for low effort content. Like, get rid of some drafts, maybe. Don't put your whole self-worth into this month. It's a bad idea. You'll just end up feeling bad, and it won't be your fault.
Don't look at your analytics. Just take a break from them. It's going to be okay.
You know, that was a really nice thing I did for myself, and I didn't do it consciously. But they hid the analytics so far into the settings that I stopped looking at them. Also, has anybody got...
Do we look like weird siblings right
now?
No. On that note, let's end.
Am I?
Hey,
on that note, if you liked knowing about all of these things, if you liked this review, if you are interested in helping us to do some research into these things and to continue to bring you resources, you can support us over on Patreon. I don't know what Nightbot, awesome. You can also have access to those resources that we over on our Discord. We'd love to have you, especially if you'd like to contribute to some of that research.
Thank you. And this is our Discord. And again, if you want to, oh wait, I can star these.
Good. No, we're not figuring out Nightbot features as we're.
No, this was just in the chat. Have a good night, everybody.